You open your eyes, and congratulations, you're dying. It's the 13th century. Your body is a battlefield of swollen lumps and blackened sores that ooze pus like broken promises. Your joints scream. Your skull feels 3 sizes too small. Every cough rattles through your chest like a funeral bell, announcing its next customer. The Black Death already devoured your family, one by one. Screams first, then silence. You're the orphan left behind, the lucky one still breathing. Lucky you. The townsfolk won't let you near them anymore, not when you reek of plague and desperation. They pushed you to the outskirts weeks ago. These days, they'd sooner drown you in a ditch than share a crust of bread. You hate them for it. You hate them so much that you drag your half-dead carcass into the forest, coughing blood, searching for firewood, for warmth, for one more miserable day of existence. Your mother warned you never to whistle after dark. It calls monsters, she said. But what could possibly be worse than the plague? That's when you find out. A rustle, a shadow, then teeth, hot, deep, tearing into your shoulder like you're nothing but meat. You scream, but the forest swallows it whole. One bite, one slash, and the thing vanishes like you weren't worth finishing. You crawl home, blood soaking through rags. Tell yourself it was just a wolf, a rabid one maybe. You'll scar, you'll survive. Brilliant assumption, really. The changes begin within days. You eat like a man possessed. Bread, meat, dirt when nothing else remains. Your nails thicken and curl, sharp enough to shred your bedding during fever dreams. Your teeth ache in your gums like they're reshaping themselves into something hungrier. Here's the strange part. The plague symptoms? Gone. No fever, no weakness, no coughing blood. Congratulations, you survived the Black Death. You just caught something worse. The first full moon rises, and pain splits you open from the inside. Bones snap like dry kindling. Skin blisters, tears, sprouts fur from wounds that refuse to heal. Your scream strangles into a growl as your jaw wrenches wide enough to unhinge. You try to pray. The words die in a throat built for tearing flesh. Then, blackness. You wake at dawn in a ditch, naked, shivering, hands painted red with blood that isn't yours. You don't remember what happened. You just know it wasn't human. They find you after your first bloody night, trembling in your hut like a wounded animal, because that's exactly what you are now. The Pack. At first, they look like men, rough villagers cloaked against the cold, faces carved with scars and hard living. Then they step closer, and the illusion cracks. The way they move, too quiet. The way their eyes catch moonlight, too long. You've heard whispers of monsters in the woods. You never imagined they'd wear your neighbors' faces. Your sire steps forward, the one who bit you. He laughs right in your face, breath hot with old blood. You were never meant to change, he sneers. You were meat, diseased, bitter meat. I spat you out. Welcome to the family. The Alpha arrives last, a wall of muscle wrapped in scars older than your bloodline. He doesn't growl, doesn't speak, just looks at you, and something inside your chest folds like wet paper. The others bow low. You learn fast. This pack bows to no god but him. That night, your orientation begins. Rule 1. The Alpha's word is divine law. He decides who eats, who breeds, who lives long enough to regret it. Rule 2. Spill blood together. Raids bind you tighter than oaths. Sheep, cattle, villagers. When the moon demands it, you don't question. Rule 3. Never reveal what you are. Hunters lurk everywhere. Priests with blessed relics. Mercenaries carrying silver. peasants armed with pitchforks and paranoia. One wolf exposed means the whole pack suffers. Rule 4. Hide in plain sight. By day, they live as humans. They farm, they drink, they marry. Some raise children who already know what the moon will forge them into. These are the born wolves, and they despise you. Rule 5. Silver burns, wolfsbane poisons. Learn to disguise your scars as farming accidents. Memorize the tricks that keep suspicion buried. Then come the stories, endless feuds with vampires, parasites who hunt the same villages, who mock wolves as wild, unrefined filth, clashes with hunters, holy men, desperate mobs carrying torches. At first, it almost feels like belonging. Almost. Then you notice how laughter dies when you enter, how born wolves shove you harder, watch you closer. You're turned, not bred, tainted, an accident they tolerate until you become inconvenient. In this family, mistakes aren't forgiven. They're killed, then forgotten. Months blur together in a haze of sheep guts and moonlit carnage. You raid distant hamlets. You fight rival packs over territory like wolves fighting over bones, because that's exactly what you are now. You survive vampire standoffs, pale aristocrats sneering down at your kind like lords judging stray dogs. You learn to kill. You learn to obey. You learn to swallow the part of you that still remembers being human. Then the Alpha calls a gathering and everything shatters. His voice rolls through the forest like thunder. The blood moon is coming. You've heard whispers, a crimson sky that drives the curse deeper, makes the rage impossible to leash. On such nights, wolves don't hunt, they slaughter. The Alpha announces the target, a village at the valley's edge, not for food, for blood. Men, women, children, wipe 'em clean. The pack howls approval. Every throat joins the chorus, except yours. You remember plague carts stacked with corpses, your mother's face blistered beyond recognition, families who already fear the dark enough without monsters confirming their nightmares. You speak the word no wolf ever dares. No. The Alpha's gaze lands on you like a hammer. His voice drops low, lethal. The blood moon demands blood. Deny it, and you deny the wolf. You try reasoning, pleading, reminding them they once walked among humans too. The answer is fangs and fists. They beat you into the dirt, ribs cracking, blood filling your mouth. You're not ignored, you're left dead. But you can't accept it. The night before the raid, you slip into the village, hood drawn, voice barely a whisper. You warn them. They're coming. Hide. Arm yourselves. Pray. Some laugh, some panic, but the seed takes root. When the blood moon rises, you chain yourself to a tree, iron biting into wrists, throat, chest. Better to tear yourself apart than wake drenched in children's blood. The night explodes, screams, bells, smoke. Wolves meet pitchforks and silver blades. Hunters emerge from shadows, crossbows humming. Wolfsbane burns the air. The feast becomes a massacre on both sides. And the pack knows you weren't there. You didn't fight. You didn't feed. Only a traitor could have warned them. The Alpha finds you at dawn, half dead from fighting your own chains. His jaws close around your throat, but he's bleeding. A silver blade still juts from his ribs. You strike. He falls. By pack law, you're the new Alpha. It doesn't feel like victory. The pack circles you in silence, eyes burning with something caught between loathing and resignation. A turned wolf, a half-breed accident, now wearing the crown of fangs. The shame drips from them like venom. Still,
Law is law. They bow. For now. You play the role they expect at first, leading raids on sheep pens, scattering hunters through the woods, keeping the pack fed and breathing. But you rewrite the rules. No slaughter of entire villages, no children torn apart in their beds. Livestock only, the occasional unlucky shepherd who wanders too far from his fire. You tell them humans are to be frightened, not exterminated. The pack grumbles. Born wolves raised on blood and tradition call you soft behind your back. You hear the whispers, feel the stares during every gathering around the fire. But you don't bend. For the first time in your cursed existence, you are not prey. You are the thing that makes prey run. Then, vampires cross a line that can't be ignored. You find him, the silk-clad parasite from before, draining a hamlet dry. Bodies stacked like firewood, children pale as candle wax, blood pooling in the mud thick enough to drown in. You know what this means. Hunters will come. Not just for him, for all of you. Monsters don't get the luxury of being judged individually. So you fight. The clash is brutal. His speed against your raw fury, fangs snapping through darkness. Trees splinter, earth shakes, the air chokes with blood and burnt hair. It isn't clean, it isn't decisive, but it ends with him fleeing into the night, hissing your name like a curse he'll collect on later. You stood your ground, proved you're more than the pup who got lucky against a bleeding alpha. But victory carves new enemies. Rogue vampires whisper about the upstart wolf who meddles in their feeding grounds. Your own pack questions why you care more about peasants than your own kind. You track the fleeing parasite to ruins outside town. Perfect opportunity to finish what started. It's a trap. Dozens of pale faces spill from the shadows. Your rival grins, fangs dripping as his kin surround you. You attack. Your pack follows. Then, one by one, they slip into the darkness, abandoning you mid-slaughter. Hunters arrive. Crossbows sing. Vampires scatter like roaches. Only you remain. Broken, bleeding, chained. Dragged toward judgment by the very humans you tried to protect.
They drag you through mud and jeering crowds, half-naked, bleeding, paraded into the town square like a trophy carved from nightmares. The same town where you once dreamed of being accepted, where you whispered warnings to save their children. Funny how gratitude works. You're shackled to a post, chains slick with wolfsbane that sizzles against your skin. Priests wave relics in your face, chanting prayers that burn your ears worse than the poison. Villagers hurl stones and rotten vegetables. Children you tried to protect now spit at your feet. No one asks what you've done. No one cares about the villages you spared, the massacres you prevented, the vampire you chased off their doorstep. You're a wolf. That's enough. The trial lasts shorter than a sneeze. The sentence comes faster. Death by fire. You almost laugh. Almost. These are the same humans you defied your pack for. The same fragile creatures you chained yourself to a tree to protect. You went against every instinct, every howling voice in your blood. For them. And now they'll roast you like a pig at festival. The pack calls it justice. The hunters call it duty. The vampires probably call it entertainment. They tie you to the stake, dry wood stacked beneath your feet like a throne built for burning. A priest mutters one final prayer, not for your soul, but for the crowd's protection. The torch descends. Flames catch hungry and quick. Heat licks your ankles, climbs your legs, embraces you like a lover made of agony. Skin blisters, flesh peels. Smoke fills your lungs thicker than any plague ever did. Somewhere in the crowd, a mother shields her child's eyes, as if looking at you might spread the curse. You don't howl. You don't scream. You don't give them that satisfaction. You just watch the sky burn red, one final blood moon painted across your vision. By morning, nothing remains but ash and rumors. The villagers pat themselves on the back for cleansing God's land. The hunters boast of their prize. The pack tells your story as a warning to every wolf who dares grow a conscience. And you? No grave, no tears, no name worth remembering. An orphan in life, an outcast in death. You spent your whole cursed existence trying to prove you were more than a beast. But to them, you were never human enough to matter, never wolf enough to belong. Just another shadow burned away at dawn.